Hey, Gym Nation, what's going on? Yesterday we talked about the what. Today we are going to talk about the how. And I'm going to try to stick to my commitment. We won't be here for a long time. We will be here for a productive time. I am actually in the house that I am having. We will be here for a remodel. Hold on a second. In the house. Sorry, y'all. I have some echoes. Let me close this. Remodel. Hold on a second. I hope this. Sorry, y'all. I have some echoes. Let me close this. There we go. Yeah, so I am in the process of getting this house remodeled. You see some doors hanging on the side and a door frame with no door to my right. But this is the room with the best lighting because not all the light fixtures are in. So we are going to get into it. Listen, we are in a new Black America, a new state of Black America, and we need to figure out not only what we are willing to do, but how we can do it. And so today I just wanted to come in and offer 5 solutions with a bonus. I got a bonus for y'all that should be at the top of our list. And if you saw the video yesterday, like I said, it was all about what some of the changes are and the direct impact to our community. Today, we are going to talk about how we can mitigate that impact and why we should start planning now. I'm actually going to start off sharing a video that I did 7 months ago. It was the 9th video in the 60 plus video series on how to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. And I just want to, remind you guys that if you were part of Gym Nation 7 months ago and you listened to the gems that were dropped then, you should be ahead of the game. Let me just go ahead and bring that video up. What's up, y'all? Oh, wow. Listen, we got Stretch with Delia's Child. That is Christine. Go ahead and follow Miss Christine, who is going to help us out in this mission to stay healthy through simple things like stretching. Stretching does the body good. And if I start sneezing and my eyes start itching, that's because there's paint and dust and all the things. So I didn't want to try to make it back to my aunt's house. I wouldn't have been able to do it. So I wanted to go ahead and get this live done on time. Hey, Kevin, welcome back. What's up? Well, Stretch, that's right. Stretch with Delia is making sure her spell check is on. So yes, please subscribe to the channel. And let me introduce myself. Hey, Creative Flavor and Travel. Let me first introduce myself to the new people. Listen, we have been on a mission over here. It's part of the Gym Nation. Go ahead and become part of the family by subscribing to the channel and checking out our videos. I am Kim, aka Kim with the Gems, and I created this channel to talk all things wellness, travel, and money from a cultural perspective, from a Black woman's point of view. I am all about dropping gems, sharing gems, bringing people on who have gems to drop, and making sure that we don't get left behind. So I ask that you subscribe to the channel. We are trying to build the Gym Nation community to help us stay ready for what is to come. It is coming, y'all. Ain't no 2 ways about it. So let's go ahead and stay in community. I do want to have other avenues. So should things happen over here, we have other ways to tap in with each other. And so subscribe to the channel, like this video. It helps to get the information out to other people in our community. And share the resources, share this information, because I promise you, only a small percentage of our community is paying attention and definitely not planning. And so we're going to try to take as many people with us. Not everybody's going to come, but let's try to take as many people with us as possible. And then turn on the notification. I put up the schedule for this week, for our lives this week, and barring any unforeseen circumstances like the tropical storm that came out of nowhere here. Listen, up till yesterday afternoon, the forecast was sunny and beautiful through Sunday night in Myrtle Beach. Yesterday afternoon, a tropical storm came out of nowhere and hit landfall. It was supposed to hit landfall at 5 p.m. today, which is why I wanted to try to do the live earlier, because I knew I had to do some things at this remodel. Oh, the storm hit this morning. Child, I'm telling you, we're going to get more of this with the cuts to the National Weather Service and all of the federal arms that help to supply information. Y'all ain't going to tell me this was not intentional. Once all the tourists got here, checked into their hotels, the money has already been spent. They could not cancel. We're in a red state. They was like, oh, guess what? Oh, they are playing no game. So anyway, barring any unforeseen circumstances, I'm going to stick to that schedule. Again, I am on the clock of a contractor. My time is not my time. And the South runs very different. Like the slowness is on a different level. It's like, oh, did I say I was going to be there at 9 a.m.? Oh, I'll be there at 3 p.m. tomorrow. So barring any unforeseen circumstances, I will see you guys according to the schedule in the post. And if we have time, we'll review it a little later. So, hey, everyone, I see Moni is in the house. Welcome. Hey, Maya, good to see you. Hey, Dante, good to see you as well. I am going to get into today's topic because, like I said, it's a Saturday, y'all. Even though we need to get in community. Hey, Just One, good to see you as well. They've already forecast delays in Texas. Oh my gosh. Listen, I try not to watch the news, but the news story caught me yesterday with those missing girls. And whew, listen, we got to brace for impact because these storms, listen, climate change is what it is, right? But they don't want us to think it is what it is. So things are going to speed up and hit us without warning. And we just have to know that, right? And so I do want to get in today's topic. Go ahead and drop the gems in the chat. If you saw yesterday's video, I do want to know if you were here live or you got to catch up. If you didn't, go ahead and put that on your list to try to catch up. And I am going to try to share this intro that I want you to see from a video that we did 7 months ago, which you ain't gonna tell me that God was not speaking directly to me when we launched this. So let me share screen. Okay, give me a second. I need to reopen because it's not showing. So I just need to bring that over here because I'm trying to do multiple things at one time. Okay, here we go. Pause. Now let me share the screen. And I hope everyone's doing good this Saturday. I know we are still reeling with the fact, because it is a fact, that there's a new bill in town, child, and it's not nothing cute, not nothing nice. And so I'm just going to share this. I hope you can hear it. If you can't, let me know. But I'm going to go ahead and start. Make sure the volume's all the way up. So again, this was done 7 months ago. This was the 9th video in the series of 60-something videos that launched in November. Let me just make sure y'all, oh, y'all can't see that. I knew there was something off. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on a second. Hold on un momento, por favor. So let me go ahead and just rewind a little. So we're going to get into that in a second. But before we do that, I do, and a comment was made today. It's so interesting because it was one of my bullets for today's conversation. Based on the unknown and what may happen rather quickly with healthcare here in this country, please go ahead, get your appointments, make sure your parents and your children get checked out, get whatever medicines are necessary. Now, I'm not saying you have to do it tomorrow because, nothing's really going to be able to take change until next year anyway, but have that as a priority. Put that as part of your plan, especially with our senior population. Make sure that this Medicare thing is not a friend of the new people coming to town, and it's taxing on the economy. And this is still a capitalistic society, and they want to shred those numbers. So just prioritize getting all your appointments done, whatever exams you need, whatever testing. Try to get it done now, no matter what type of insurance you have. I don't care if it's Medicare, I don't care if it's Medicaid, private insurance, managed care, whatever it is. Just go ahead and prioritize that. Like I said, we just don't know how much longer we have. And also, what I wanted to say. So we'll stop there. I put the link in for the entire replay because I could have done this video today. Like, this is how timely and poignant. This was part of the Stay Ready. This was part of the Stay Ready movement. And so if y'all were listening, and if you took a little bit of action and did 1 or 2 appointments already, then you are ahead of the game. Again, these effects are literally not supposed to go into effect. These changes are not supposed to go into effect until December 2026. But as I mentioned yesterday, hospitals are already announcing closures because of these changes. So again, I do want us to continue to stay ready so we don't have to get ready, which is why I'm coming live every day this week to keep the momentum going, keep the information out there, keep building on this community. But please, if you haven't started that process, when I tell you Monday, Tuesday, next week, go ahead and make sure you have whatever appointments you need, whatever special testing you need. Start to get that done now. This is a new America, and it's going to hit Black people. What they say, when America gets a cold, we get more than the flu. We get panorama, right? And so let's just go ahead and try to procure these appointments while we can, and especially for those who may need help and assistance. We talked about that yesterday. Now, again, having healthcare and having these doctor's appointments do not mean that we're, healthy. It's preventative, but we try to be preventative. But our healthcare tends to be some of the worst and most costly in the world. And it doesn't help to keep our hearts ticking the longest when you compare to other countries. So understanding that, we're going to lead into some of the top tips that we should prioritize as we enter this new normal. Also, understand this. Because of this travel ban that is being implemented on primarily Black and brown countries, understand that includes doctors who were scheduled to come to this country. There is an article that I can actually add. I'm going to add it. It is from PBS. I'm going to add it. And basically, foreign medical residents that were supposed to come fill critical positions at US hospitals may now face visa issues. Not may now, they will. A lot of doctors come from some of the countries in the motherland. And if you put a complete halt on visas, including students, that includes them as well. The same with places in South America, places like India. Like, what is that going to mean? Let's just pray on that one, because that has me even more scared than some of this other stuff. And so I will add the link. Let me add that link right now because I will forget. So if you want to bookmark the this article in PBS on how residents may be affected, may be barred from entering the US, you can go ahead and click on that. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into some of the solutions, which again is going to be 5 plus a bonus. One of them we definitely kind of talked about yesterday, so that's kind of like the bonus. But we'll start with the first two are not they're a little bit more complex, right? You need more things to make it happen. And I've been talking about it on this channel for a while. But the first one, move abroad. Move abroad to a country where, and we're going to go over the top 7 countries, I believe, that have affordable quality healthcare for a fraction of the cost that we'll get it for here. Meaning you can potentially buy a ticket, have a whole stay in a nice resort or hotel, get quality head to toe service, and still save thousands upon thousands of dollars. And so we're going to go over that. But first and foremost, let's just talk about the move abroad. Start researching and investigating countries that you would not mind living in, and then back into what their healthcare looks like, right? You want to do a list of places that it doesn't have to be forever, right? But if you can work, if you're retired or you could work from other places, then this should be your first step, right? And also talking to your family members about it, because some people, all you need to do, someone said it yesterday, is plant the seed. I think it was Lisa who said that. So all you need to do is plant the seed and watch what happens. And then we'll move on to number 2 because it's closely tied. If you and your family members like, nah, I'm good, I'm not moving abroad, okay. You know, there is a thing called medical tourism, right? And they've been having it on lock. And when I say they, not us, have been having it on lock forever. People have always used medical tourism as a way to get quality healthcare at a fraction of the cost. The video that I just did the intro with breaks down in deeper detail the cost comparison for things like MRIs, dental work, fertility treatments, all the things. It gives you a real comparison, a real detailed explanation on how much you can save dollar-wise, right? If based on the type of service you need. So think about medical tourism, start planning for medical tourism. And medical tourism could even mean going now and loading up on some pharmaceuticals, some legal pharmaceuticals. But before we get into that, because I have a visual that I want you to see in a second that talks about the type of medication that you can get. But just start saving for, start thinking about some of what your discretionary income can be used for. And maybe it's time to take that trip. And I'm just going to quickly go through the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 countries that rank very high for medical tourism. Number 1 is Costa Rica. Again, you can see the video that I put in the link um, to give you more details about the comparison, the cost comparison. Then there's India, right? India is known for producing quality physicians. So if it starts to become a issue of will I be able to afford in the future, start that preemptive um, those preemptive medical tourism trips now, if you can, right? Because as these these fundings get cut, other countries are going to take advantage of the influx of people trying to get there to take advantage, and they've already started. Let's be clear. They've started, but the prices are still relatively low, or very low in most instances, compared to what we have here. So Costa Rica, India, Korea. Again, watch the video. I break down that cost as well. And this is not an exhaustive list. This is just the top 7. There are many more. You can do your due diligence based on wherever it is that you want to go. But, do the research. Korea is on that list. Malaysia, known for superior health care, right? And if you want to take a vacation, pick some place where you can wiggle in some doctor's appointments, some prescriptions, and start stockpiling. I know they say prescriptions have an expiration date, but a lot of times that's to keep you coming back. So do your own. Listen, let me do the disclaimer. Hi, y'all. My name is Kim, aka Kim with the Gems, and I am not a physician. I am not a doctor. I do not work in the medical field. I do not purport to know the ins and outs of how to treat ailments. This is just based on my research and some of my experiences. So I just needed to do that disclaimer. But you can do your own research about the medications that you may need. Malaysia is a beautiful country and a great place to take a vacation, even if it's medical tourism focused. Y'all know how I feel about Mexico. Let me go ahead and pull up this slide right now. And if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. So this slide right here, y'all, is just, I hope you can see it really good, but it's a breakdown of the medications that you can buy just walking down the street in Playa del Carmen at any time of the day or night. And it's at a fraction of the cost. And if you look, let me just try to zoom in so I can see. If you look at some of the medications, you'll see that there's everything. Let me get the whole screen. Hold on one second. Okay. You have, I don't know a lot of these medicines, so I'm not going to try to say what they represent, but I do know a Z-Pack. A Z-Pack is antibiotics. And if you need if I need a quick antibiotic to get rid of something in 5 days, 3 days, then the Z-Pack is it. I know my physician at one time stopped issuing prescriptions for Z-Packs. Anyway, you have Z-Packs, you have amoxicillin, penicillin. Let me find some other things. Lasix, Lyrica, Tamiflu. You have muscle relaxants. You have Nexium, you have sleeping pills, you have Viagra, you have diet pills. Did I say painkillers, steroids, hydrocortisone, Valtrex, Prozac, like all of the Wellbutrin, like all of these things do not require a prescription like they do here. Metformin, and it gives you the pricing. And I forgot the number. Like if you screenshot this and you zoom in, you could see some of the pricing and it's translated into USD. So if you get 10, and this is based on conversion, right? So the conversion rate may change. right? And it changes every day, quite honestly, but it doesn't fluctuate that high, that low, but it gives you an idea on what you can spend. I won't go through the numbers. I think that may take too much time. But again, Cialis, like all of these things that require a prescription and may have a copay to go along with it, you can get these things in Mexico and other countries, not just Mexico. Again, this is based on my experience. This is Mexican Playa del Carmen pharmacies, but there are a whole host of pharmacies throughout Mexico that you can go to and offer, and they will offer you these prescriptions. Well, they're prescriptions here, but they're over the counter there. And you can start to stock up, bring friends and family members to a nice vacation in Cancun or a nice vacation wherever you want to go. If you're on the west side of the country, the West Coast, you can go down to any place on the West Coast. So Cabo, the list goes on. Then there's Thailand. I told the story in the last video. The first time I heard about medical tourism being a real thing, right? Like meeting someone who had money that still does medical tourism was when I was coming back. We were at the airport in Thailand and we were on a line to get through the first set of TSA, I'll call it TSA, and met this older couple, Caucasian American couple, who they were in line coming back from their 2-week vacation, which was also their annual medical tourism trip. And they raved about the place, the state of the art facility, and the fact that they put them up in what's like a 5-star resort. So you don't really even have to leave the premises. There's other places that if you do stay at a hotel, they provide transportation. So that was the first time. And these people have money. They travel the world and they come to Thailand every December for 2 weeks to get their medical tourism done. Then finally, there's Turkey. A good friend of mine just came back. Now, Turkey is close to some of where unfortunately, where some of the unrest is happening in the world right now. So I put an asterisk near Turkey because, again, are there flights going in and out of Turkey? Absolutely. Am I recommending you to take a flight in and out of Turkey? Absolutely not. But a colleague of mine just returned from Turkey from getting what would have been severely expensive or extremely expensive dental work done for it was so inexpensive to get it done that when she did comparisons between Turkey and Mexico is pretty reasonable too, it was still cheaper for her to fly to Turkey, stay in a hotel, stay there for over a week, get the work done, come back, then pay again to go get it finalized. It was cheaper for her to go to Turkey to get that done. But again, if you watch the video that I listed, put the link in the chat, you will see me break down the cost comparison. So we went through 1 and 2. Number 1, move abroad. Move abroad, find you a country that has good healthcare, or good and affordable healthcare that you would want to live in. Figure out what you need to do to get legal status there, legal residency, and move abroad. Okay, we know that's kind of complicated, right? Especially if Nana and them don't have their passports. You got to get their passports. You got to get all their papers together. If it's financial requirements, that's a whole nother thing, right? So if you can't do that, make sure Nana and them, Uncle Bob and them, Grandpa and them have their passports so they can at least do medical tourism, so that they at least are able to leave the country and be able to get their healthcare needs taken care of, if they're able-bodied, if they're able to do so. And not only get their healthcare appointments and testing, they can bring back what we would consider prescription medicine, but over there, it's over the counter. Now, there is a limit, so you would have to know which airport, what country, what their rules and regulations are, because we don't want you, ending up in a detention center. So you do have to make sure that they have their paperwork. So let's go on to number 3. This is very important. We didn't really talk about it yesterday, but know where the state you live in stands with these cuts. Like, there are certain states that are going to be severely impacted, and then there's others that impact will be not as severe. So understanding where your state stands, and I'll bring up just, we'll go over some of the states that will be greatly impacted. And I'll start with Medicaid and then go into Medicare. So first, with Medicaid, the most affected states, the projection is, and this won't sound like a surprise. Tell me what they all have in common, or most of them have in common. You got California, New York, Pennsylvania, Illinois, North Carolina, Arizona, Ohio, Michigan, Washington, and Oregon. Child, they've been playing chess for a very long time. Let's just be clear on that. They've been playing chess for a very long time. And so why would these areas be most affected by the cuts for Medicaid? Number one, they have expanded Medicaid under the Affordable Care Act. There are certain states that did not expand Medicaid under the Affordable Care Act, like the state I'm in right now, South Carolina, but we'll talk more about that in a second. There's a large number of non-disabled working age adults, according to their reports. These states, it's a new initiative to be subjected to the 80-hour a month work requirement. And of course, because of federal funding costs. Now, when you compare that to Medicare, Pennsylvania, California, Florida, New York, Oregon, Michigan, Illinois, Arizona, and Washington, I think there's only 2 states that fell off, like North Carolina, and I'm missing, I think, another one. But why is Medicare going to be mostly affected, or the mostly heavier impacted in these states? Because of the Medicare Advantage programs that these states participate in. There will be huge cuts to Medicare Advantage benchmarks, which risk reducing provider networks and plan options. Countries, I'll just do a complete opposite. Who will be least affected? There's states that fall in the middle, but the least affected when it comes to Medicaid: Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kansas, Wyoming, and Wisconsin. Why? Because they did not expand Medicaid. Fewer people subjected to work rules. Some of these states scaled back compliance requirements, and it's less direct federal funding at stake. So those are, and I'll repeat them again, this is Medicaid: Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kansas, Wyoming, and Wisconsin. And the least affected when it comes to Medicare, there's a lot of duplication here: Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina, Wyoming, and Kansas. And why? Lower impact rural states typically have lower Medicare Advantage penetration, fewer systematic adjustments to Medicare Advantage, and income-related premiums due to smaller senior populations. So again, I may find a way to put a document together so you can see this. I'll let you know during this week if I have time to do that. But I did want you to know that every state is not going to be affected the same. Know your state, and that state, the state that you're living in or your loved one is living in, will give you insight as to how you need to move. So if there's a greater chance of impact, then you need to start seriously thinking about some moves. If the chances of impact are lessened because of whatever, then you may have some time. You may not be as worried, right? So know where your state stands and which state will be impacted the most and least impacted. Also, number four, so that was number three. Number four, know your medications. Create a comprehensive list. And when I say your, like I said yesterday, we're talking about anyone who is close to you. It's not just you. Who is close to you, go ahead and make a comprehensive list of all of the medications that they require. Know how to stockpile. So if you're not leaving the country, find ways. Listen, I'm not here to say what those ways are, but you can do your own due diligence and find ways to start to stockpile starting now, because we have, I'm just going to say 12 months, because after, summer of 2026, things are going to be like snowball effect. They're going to move really quickly. Things are going to get shut down. Doctors are going to be at their wits' end. A lot is going to happen. And know which of those prescriptions are critical versus there's a video I want you to listen to. I'm not gonna share it. Hopefully I saved it and I could find it. It's on Instagram, and the sister was doing a warning for us. And so if I can find it, is this it? No, that's not it. Yeah, this is it. This is it. I hope you can hear it. Hold on a second. In honor of July. Okay, y'all, I'm headed back to work. Stop letting your elderly aunts, uncles. I'm going to replay it in a second. Hopefully you can hear it. Tell me if you can hear it. I need to hear. I work in the doctor's office. I need to know if you can hear. Let me tell you something. They just there because they got a text message saying they got an appointment, and then these doctors be practicing medicine. Hear me when I say practicing. So they talk y'all elderly family members into thinking they need a procedure that they. I'm gonna assume that y'all can hear it. I didn't see anyone say they couldn't. You can hear. Thank you, Moni. I'm going to start it from the beginning so everyone can hear. Okay, y'all. I'm heading back to work. Stop letting your elderly aunts, uncles, moms, dads, grandparents go to the doctor by themselves. Because I work in the doctor's office, and baby, let me tell you something. These people be coming in there, they don't know why they there. They just there because they got a text message saying they got an appointment, and then these doctors be practicing medicine. Hear me when I say practicing. So they talk y'all elderly family members into thinking they need a procedure that they really don't need. And they just be going along with it because they be feeling like they got to do what the doctor said. The doctor recommended it, so I got to do it. And then later on, you wonder why your family member ain't here no more. You wonder why they not here no more. It's because y'all not going to the doctors with them to make sure that these doctors are not taking advantage of them. Because they do be taking advantage of these people. I'm telling y'all. I see it every day, every single day. And stop trusting these transportation people to bring them to the doctor, because they just drop them at the front door and keep it pushing. They don't help them with paperwork. They don't help them do nothing. They literally just give them a ride. And these people just be lost. And it's so sad to see, like, where are your family members? You don't have nobody that care about you. The sad thing is, some people don't. Some their children precedes them in not being here anymore. Some people come from really small families. Some people have no family at all. And so I know I am committed to being a resource while I'm here in these USs of A's to anyone that is in my network and in my circle who needs help. I've seen firsthand as well how they prey on older, less educated, all the things, right? They prey on these people to get them to do things that they really don't need to do, i.e., some people really didn't need to go on dialysis, but dialysis is a huge moneymaker, y'all. That is a huge moneymaker. So, know which prescriptions are necessary, know which prescriptions are not, or necessary, as we call it. So know the ones that are necessary and know the ones that are necessary. And also, under number 4, know how you can, or start to learn how you can alter your lifestyle to get off of some of these medications, right? Depending on the ailment. I'm not going to call them out today, but depending on the ailment, well, we'll talk about one. We know if you have diabetes because you're overweight, you don't need to necessarily go on a what is it, Ozempic or them other things, right? There's things you can do to mitigate the need for certain medicine. Now, I'm not saying all medicines, but I am saying there's a lot of medications that um, that we can get rid of, and we can help our family members get rid of. Then, so that was number 4, and then number 5, and then we're going to do a bonus one. Number 5, have the conversations with your family members. Listen, we done been through the not having the conversations about money with our families because the kids needed to stay in their place, and this is grown folk business and all of that. As maybe the younger of our family that came from a whole different generation, we need to have hard conversations. And I started talking about it yesterday, but this is one of the tips that we have to start implementing. If it's someone you love, you care about, you got to have the conversation like, Grandma, things are about to change. And she may be like, baby, I done been through this, and baby, I done seen that. Okay, we understand that, but we still need to have a plan, because anyone who fails to plan plans to fail. And I want to make sure that you are okay. Whatever, I'm not giving you a sermon to say, but have the conversation that you know or think would be most impactful to your loved ones. I do believe that we will be able to change minds of people who were once very stern and firm, in the past. I haven't listened to the whole thing, but Karen Hunter posted a video yesterday, and it's talking about, are we going back to the days, when they called us Toby and the like. And she has this brilliant educator on there. Oh, I can't remember her name, but I know her well. And she's 87 years old, and she talks about what she's seen through her history, her time being here, and all of the changes. She talked about thinking, when Reagan took office, like, anyway, if you get a chance, listen to that. I'm going to finish listening to it, but I only listened to, I want to say, up the first like 10 minutes of it. But if you get a chance, take a listen and learn some things. Like, we have to listen to our elders, but our elders need to listen to us too, especially if we are the ones that have the technological advantages. We know how to use systems to get things done quicker. We just need to have the conversations. And some of them may be like, listen, baby, I ain't going nowhere. This is my house. I done built this house. I ain't going nowhere. We know people, when a massive storm comes, hurricane, tornado, whatever, we keep hearing, what's the common phrase? I'm going to hunker down. I'm going to hunker down. I'm going down with my house. I don't get it, but that's their prerogative and that's their right. So have the conversation. And we just have, finding out, have the conversation to see what your family members are willing to do and what they're not willing to do. And let's say this, if they're not willing to move, make sure that you have all their paperwork ready and in order. So if it means them leaving something to you, their wills, their estates, whatever they have, make sure that paperwork is in order. That should be done anyway, but let's just say it's not, and you have the conversation, that should be part of the conversation. And I know that's a hard conversation to have. Lord, we spent I knew, listen, my father had a will, but damn if it didn't take us months to find it. And where we found it, it's comical, but it's such a old school thing. Had I paid attention to what, our elders used to do, we would have found it much earlier. But there was multiple safe deposit boxes. We are in different states with keys trying to find the will, and it was in the house all the time. But anyway, and the crazy thing is, a lot of states now, we had copies of the will. They don't accept copies. You need the original will in order for them to process it. And so have the conversations, the hard conversations, the necessary conversations, and start having them now. Listen, 7 months ago, we talked about getting your doctor's appointments. Probably 7 months ago, we talked about getting your most important paperwork together. Some of you probably already have it. Some of you have probably gotten it for your parents or whatever. But if you haven't, do it now. Like I said, I think on the thumbnail, or if it wasn't the thumbnail, it was, I forgot. But, now that we know this was not fear mongering, right? Because that was the thing. And I got it in the comment section too. Things that will never happen. This is fear mongering, blah, 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 blah. I'm not the most brilliant person on this earth. But damn, it was easily 1 + 1 = 2. Like, this was not no complicated trigonometry, NASA problem to solve. This was 1 + 1 = 2. And so similarly, we just need to stay on track, stay on the stay ready track. The bonus that I want to give y'all, and again, after that, we can tap out if you don't have any questions. But I am going to ask y'all a question. How many of y'all know a homeopathic doctor? And when I say doctor, they don't have to have a PhD. How many of y'all know your nearest, and I always mess up this word, but herbal store, but it's a apothecary. And I know that's not how you say it. Apothecary. I think that might be it. How many of y'all have that at the ready? And if you don't have it, put no, I don't. And if you have it, put yes, I do. I'm gonna wait. And while thank you, Moni. But Moni, you gonna make sure I gets it right. I appreciate you. I know how to spell it, but it's the pronunciation that's the problem. So do you know of one? If you don't, do the research now. Do the research now so that you're not fumbling when it's too late. Do the research, find you a credible. I also say, because I am in the South right now, they moved the Gullah Geechee Festival. I'm a little upset about that. So I don't think I will be here for that Gullah Geechee Festival. It's in August. It used to be in June, the beginning of June. Find you find you someone who understands what these herbs do. Find you someone who has been through not having a doctor or medical insurance or being able to go to the hospitals, but have sustained not only themselves, but their families. They are abundant. Not only in the South, but I'm in the South right now, so I'll use that for an example, but they are abundant in other countries as well. They're abundant in places like Mexico. They're abundant in other places. I prefer to get the information from people who have our same genetic kind of sort of makeup, because everything ain't for everybody. Like, I don't believe that the food pyramid was supposed to be for us, but that's not a fight I'm gonna have, but that's just my opinion. So I also look for people who have the same or similar genetic makeup. And so I really implore you to find someone who understands how herbs, which many of these pharmaceuticals are built off of, that's the tea right there. That's another thing that's not touted loudly, but these companies have found a way to profit off of things that are already in nature. And so definitely start researching where, if it's not for you, for a loved one. Again, many of us have elderly family members that are going to need our help. Hell, I'm an elderly family member to my younger nieces and nephews, and they know how to do things quicker with, at the drop, look up stuff much quicker than I do. But I promise you, we're having, some of us are having the conversations already and have been having the conversations, but we're going to have regular follow-up conversations now. Like, we're going to have regularly scheduled Zoom meetings to get through or start planning for what's to come. So those were the top 6 things. I'm gonna see what you guys have said. And then we can, because I know I missed some people. Do me a favor, if you're in here now, hit that like button. And if you're about to leave, hit it before you head out. Again, also share this with someone that you consider a friend. I said hi to Maya. I think I said hi to Moni. Yeah, I know, child. It's a lot. Nope, Stephanie, God does not play. Yeah, Kevin. Again, with these mysterious, catastrophic weather events that are becoming more and more common, we need to be prepared. Did I say hi, just one? If I didn't, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yep. Oh gosh, Maya. Again, you can watch the replay where I break down all the countries, and you can fast forward through it, put it on 2 times speed until you get to the part that you want to get to. But know know the information, figure out the information, and keep it someplace safe. Also, if this is, you want to hear more about the bans and how they're going to affect our U.S. healthcare system, I put the article there as well. Hey, Ebag, good to see you. Hey, Jackie's Journey. I think aren't you in another country too? I'm loving this community. I'm loving this community because we are all, if not fully activated, we're partially activated, or we are planning activation. And I just absolutely love that for us. I swear I do. Like, I brought my computer here today because I was like, oh, I may not make it back to my aunt's house in order to do, my aunt and my uncle's house to do the live. So I brought it with me because I'm committed. I am fully committed. And I want to see more of us. Did it start raining again? It sure did. It is pouring. Lord. So y'all were saying y'all can hear. Wait, the doctor said, yeah, I heard that a lot. Well, the doctor said, right. Well, the doctor said, yes, exactly. Like the doctors, I'm telling you. And as someone who got hired, I didn't take the job. I remember when I moved to Atlanta, and someone wanted me to go out for this pharmaceutical sales job. Yeah, American Express, I had the most interviews for. The pharmaceutical company, I had the second most interviews for. And the way you have to hustle these pharmaceuticals, I felt like, well, if I'm going to do this, I might as well be on the street corner making even more money. Now, they do get highly compensated. But I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And so knowing how they're trying to wait for people to not be able to say no to things. Like if they come to you and say, oh, you need to do this, and you're, facing your mortality because you're getting older, they know more people be like, oh, okay. Or if you're not as educated, or you're not, like, you have to really be an advocate for yourself, which means you have to be able to challenge doctors. And I always say this, If you sound like you know what you're talking about, oh, you are less of a prey. So if that means going to Google and saying, "Hey Google, my doctor is trying to make me take blah 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 blah. Can you give me?" I know everybody's not on ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, but get you some resources to give you like one paragraph that you memorize, or you can email to your doctor. They will start, they may still push a little, but you won't be their primary target. They will, the path of least resistance is real. Yes, necessary, child. You write that down. It's necessary and then necessary. Not yet. Oh, so you don't have the local natural homeopathic contact? Find one, find two, look at reviews, learn about herbs and teas if that's at the base of what you can do. Keep some black seed oil. You can make your own. Get you some organic black seeds. Grind, whatever grinder you have. If it's a coffee grinder, grind them up. Get you some pure oils, and that's at your discretion. Let them marinate for some time. Keep you some black seed oil. Keep, if you can, we're going to go more into some of those solutions later. Jackie's, I go to the herbal store all the time. I also grow. Yes, 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 yes. I mean, simple things like parsley, cilantro, like, the things we learn. And nobody's saying that things don't happen and can't happen. This is all about making sure we are not just doing what other people say we should do without knowing how we can maybe do things differently, right? Not just taking every doctor's word as law. Kevin says, I do. I believe. Oh, good for you. You believe in holistic medicine, as do I. I've been the beneficiary of it, and I've seen others as well. And so, castor oil is another organic, cold press, hexane free castor oil. I have a whole video on it. Ciao. I haven't had to take a pain medication pill for it. I don't have any wood. Oh, I say thank you. But castor oil is God's miracle. Hey, Cynthia, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Christine says you listen to Dr. Price, but no real life location in your hood. What about the next town over, girl? Listen, I know where you live. There's homeopathic. I don't know about a dedicated apothecary or whatever, however you say it, store, but there are homeopathic specialists that are somewhere, not far from you. Wait, I'm in your neck of the woods, or who's in your neck of the woods, Jackie's Journey? Because I thought you were out of here. I thought you was in a whole nother country. Or is that this month? I forgot. Yeah, the food, that's a scam, child. That is a scam, especially now with what they're doing to our food. I follow this guy. I just started following him actually. When he did a 90-day raw vegan juice fast, and he did herbal teas as well. He went from 414 pounds to 353 pounds in 90 days. Now, that's extreme, but desperate times call for desperate measures. There is no way his organs were functioning right at 414 pounds. Let me see if I could find him real quick, because I think I want to say his name is I Am Vegan or I Am Raw. If I don't find him now, I will share him tomorrow. Yeah, I can't find him right now, but he did 90 days, lost 78 pounds, I want to say, 8 something like that. So again, there's different ways for us to try to take back our health. We suffer the disparity in ailments. They did a number on us, is all I'll say. They all did. And we don't all have to be raw vegan. I'm not raw vegan. I'm pescatarian. But guess what? I'm in the South. And I had, what did I have? I had bacon. Bacon, that child. Y'all got, I don't bring bacon home, but if I'm out and about and there's a nice crispy piece of bacon, oh, we were at the Waffle House. That's what it was. And that bacon looked too crispy on my brother's plate. And child, I had me a piece of bacon. But again, went back the next day. I'm eating way more watermelon than bacon. I get whole, fresh farmers, black seeded watermelon every week, and I eat that for breakfast. And so anyway, we just have to take our health into our own hand. Also, just a reminder, get an updated Social Security account and veterans pension awards. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. Thank you for saying that as well. We have a whole conversation on finances that we're going to do on Tuesday. It's either Tuesday or Wednesday. I didn't do the schedule today because I was here. I was trying to multitask, but I'll put the schedule of the conversation. It's either Tuesday or Wednesday. We're going to talk about the financial aspect of what we should be planning and where we are in the planning process. But you're right, the SSA downloads, the Pensions Award, the Veterans Pension Award. Make sure you change credit card addresses and notify banks when ready to travel. Copy of bank statements if required. Yeah. And we're also going to talk about looking into, if you don't have one already, credit unions, right? And we'll talk more about that. I don't want to get off track. That being overweight is a real conversation that needs to be had. People are sensitive, but we must take charge of our own health as much as possible. It's super important. 100%. That's 100%. Listen, our hearts were only designed to carry so much weight before you start putting pressure on it. And if you're blessed enough to survive through all of the extra exertion that you're putting on your body, thank God. But just know that is not how our bodies are designed. And so, and you could be not overweight, but if you're eating wrong and your blood pressure and your everything else is out of whack, you could be skinny with high blood pressure, which is formula for a stroke. And so definitely, it's a hard conversation to have. I don't fight people on it. I'm not skinny, right? But I'm fit, right? And I pay attention to what I eat. And so it's not even necessary. So we also have to be clear that overweight means something different to different body types, right? Different ethnicities, right? Everybody is not designed to be that European standard body type. So yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. But yes, definitely staying healthy. Yep, love some Bobby Price. Love some Bobby Price. Yes, thank you, Christine. If you haven't liked, subscribed, and shared, please do so. We appreciate your commitment. Oh, listen, you're welcome. I received that. I'm being motivated by a higher power. But I thank you for acknowledging. You're not Muslim, but you want to train your body to eat every other day. Fasting is something that, for those of you who read the Bible, it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible for a reason. A lot of people that I know and respect talk about how they were able to cure certain things through fasting and different lengths of time. I believe Usher, every Wednesday, he goes on a complete fast. And it gives your organs time to, and I'm sure he eats better than most the rest of the week, but water fast, I try to do quarterly. I try to do at least a 3-day water fast quarterly. I definitely do the Daniel fast during Lent. I didn't do it this year because a lot was going on. But I'm going to catch up, God willing. I'm going to do the 40-day Daniel fast sometime this year. But yeah, yes, I think bacon. You think bacon that my grandma used to make in the oven till it was super crispy. Ooh, child, you haven't lived until you tried that with homemade buttermilk biscuits. Yeah. Yeah, bacon is child. It's hard to let go of 100% for me. For me. Some people, that whole swine conversation, that's enough for them. But again, I don't bring it home. I don't cook it. I may have bacon twice to three times a year. And that's even with me being in Mexico for multiple weeks throughout the year, like a couple months out the year. So, yeah, that sounds like Dr. Yaki. He did the same. Oh, about the fasting. Yeah, Dr. Yaki, well, Yaki Awakening, he's another, some people love him. Again, find who works for you. Find who you align with. Definitely check to see what the people are saying. The fasting. Dr. Bobby Price has a fast. I am thinking about, but it's not going to happen while I'm here. So let me not even bring that up. Too much, too much, too much. I don't want to overload. But we are going to be back tomorrow. If you are not following, there was something else I wanted to, I don't remember. But anyway, if you are not following, go ahead and follow. I'm not going to try to find it. If you found any value, please share this because I'm all about sharing is caring. And just to quickly go over the schedule for this week, we did today 5 p.m. Tomorrow is 12 p.m. noon. Monday is 8 p.m. Now, again, there's still a severe tropical storm warning. They've already talked about power outages possibly. So if y'all don't see me tomorrow at 12, it's because I should be able to upload on my phone though. So if there's any problems, I will notify everyone in the community tab. Check that out. But other than that, 12 p.m. tomorrow, 8 p.m. on Monday, 10 p.m. on Tuesday, and then 9 p.m. on Wednesday. And that will conclude week one. We'll see what's next and what's necessary. But for now, these next 7 days, we are going to design a plan. And we are going to make sure that we try to stay committed to it. And so I think that's all I got. I thank everyone once again for tuning in. I hope it wasn't too echoey because there's no furniture in here. But yeah, so again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being part of the Stay Ready So We Don't Have to Get Ready community. This is serious, y'all. This plan has been planned. They have been planning this for decades. And now that the plan, I did have 2 movies that I'm going to recommend that y'all watch. I saw your comment, Creative Flavor. Give me 1 second. So there's 2 movies that if you have some downtime this weekend, it will make us think. And then I want us to come back and talk about it for the people who watched it. I may do a separate Zoom. We'll see. The first one is American Insurrection. Again, American Insurrection. And you could go on IMDb to find out where it's playing. And then the second one is on Hulu. It's called The Order. And American Insurrection, The Order has Journey Smollett, I believe. Yeah, Journey Smollett is in that one. If you haven't watched it, it's like a look into the future, child. It is truly like a look into the future. Beginning today or this evening, I'm going to say midnight. If you do have a Facebook account, if you do have, what is it called? Reels or no lives. You know what? I did a video. Let me see if I could share it. You have until today to save those or they go away forever. And I know for me, since I travel a lot, I had quite a few from some beautiful, from Madrid, from Monaco, I mean, not Monaco, Morocco, Monaco too. I had some lives from some beautiful places that would have just gone away. And even though I haven't seen them, watched them for a while, I want to keep them as my own. And then I had people who are no longer here with us. I had some live videos with them in it. So go ahead and download it. The quickest way to do it, if you're on a computer, laptop, desktop, go to your profile pic, go to settings and privacy, go to activity log, then activity log. The first thing that should pop up is live videos. Pick out the live videos. There's 3 dots, click that. You'll have the option to download, delete, something like that. You can download. So that's what I was referencing. Hey, Casper 330. Holas, ¿cómo está? You're so welcome, Cynthia. You're so welcome, Kevin. Yes, please send me a like. I appreciate it. Okay, I hope I answered your question. You understood it. So you have until today to get them downloaded. You're welcome, Dante. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody. Okay, I'll see y'all tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't catch us live, always watch the replay. When you watch the replay, do yourself a favor, save some time. I watch things at like 1.75 speed, speed it up so you could at least get the meat of the conversation. Okay, until tomorrow, everybody have a great Saturday. Good day. Is it night yet? No, good afternoon.